Hi there, how are you doing today? Namaste, good morning, afternoon, wherever you are. My name is Vishnu Dutt and I work as a network architect in Cisco. So we have defined system information, we have defined internet interface feature template. Now let's add another template for the service side VPN, right? Which is gigabit Ethernet 0/2. Okay, so if I uh, find vEdge, obviously we are here. Now what we are going to do, we are defining one more uh, Ethernet interface for my VPN 0. So here you go, it is opening, and now I need to define this, right? So every edge is slightly different if you consider the LAN part, because in the branch 1 we are going to have OSPF. Here we are just going to have what we call only connected route, right? So having said that, let's create the name first, and here you go. So the name is going to be BR2 Edge VPN 10 interface, right? Okay, here you go. Similarly, we are going to have description. We do not want to shut this interface, right? And interface name, it is gigabit Ethernet 0/2. It is global 0/2. Okay, so here you go. And description, we want to put a description here, which is going to be default, and the description is it is VPN 10 interface, right? Now IPv4 address for this. What we are going to do, it is going to be the device specific. And why I'm making it device specific, the reason is maybe I want to use it in maybe in future. So VPN, what we can say, VPN 10, this is going to be VPN 10 interface IPv4 address. This is good. And then is it going to be tunnel interface? No, because it is my service side VPN. No need to enable NAT on this. This is good. This is good. No VRRP is required. Nothing. And we are good with respect to all these parameters. And let's do a save here. Okay, so we have defined now VPN 10 side interface. And now if I want to include the management VPN interface, let's include that also. Again, vEdge cloud, right? Here you go. And one more interface we want to define. And this time it is going to be the interface for VPN 512. So I can simply define this as a management interface. Description is going to be same. I do not want to shut this down. No. Interface name, it is going to be your Ethernet, right? Ethernet 0. Description is going to be global, and this is my nothing but management interface. The IP address, let's say I want to define here. It is going to be device specific, right? And I need to specify so that I can identify this is VPN 512 interface. Okay, VPN 512 underscore interface IPv4 address. Okay, so let's do a save. Let's correct the spelling. This is good now, and here you can see it is IF. Okay, this is good. So nothing is special. No, it is not going to be the tunnel interface. No NAT is required. No VRP is required. Everything is perfect. Everything should be default here. And let's save this configuration. Okay. So now I am creating a lot of feature templates, but believe me, these are going to be important as we are going to reuse them in our different edges. So I want to define one or two more templates. Like let's go again onto VH because we are having this VH cloud, and I am most of the times is most peculiar about this NTP. NTP should be there, right? And the reason is I want time to be synchronized across everyone, every VH, right? So this is going to be my NTP configuration template, and then I want to define here the server. Host name, basically it is going to be global 9.9.9.1 is my NTP server. I do not have any key, nothing, and I have by default version 4. So let's save this NTP configuration. Now the most important part, I need to define the VPNs also, VPN number 0, VPN number 512, and VPN number 10. So let's define, okay, add template, and again I am doing it for VH cloud. Let's define the configuration for VPN, and here you go, we are in VPN 0 configuration. By default it is 0, but if you want to define for 512 and 10 we can, but now, and I am making it as a transport VPN. Suppose this is going to be my global, let's give it a name. This is transport VPN. I do not want anything else here. What I want, so in this, basically what do you want to advertised in OMP, right? In VPN from VPN 0. So right now, basically, I'm not doing anything. That is fine. Let's leave it. But if you define the IPv4 route, I need to define the IPv4 route, right? And it is going to be the default route 0.0.0. So whatever we have done in the manual configuration, which we are just repeating here, right? /0. And the next hop, I need to define the next hop here. Add next hop. Here it is. Address of the next hop is for this 8.0.2.1. Or basically, I can do one more thing, guys. I can make sure that this is device specific, right? And I will mark it down that this is VPN next hop IP address for VPN 0 next hop IP address. Okay, good. So this is again your, this parameter is again your variable. So whenever we are going to push this parameter to the device, we are going to specify all those variables. Okay, just do a add here. We are good, and we do not need anything else here. So VPN 0 configuration is done because we have defined here the default route, and the interface we are going to select from the device portion parts. Okay, so let's say, okay, it is asking, please fill in the required fields. Okay, what are those required fields which we forgot? And yes, the name. So this is the VPN 0 templates. Okay, template for VPN 0. This is template for VPN 0, right? Okay, let's save it. Let's create the template again for VPN 512. Here you go. So here, if I may write down VPN 512, I am copying the same template name, Control C, Control V here. That is great. And now the VPN number is 512. Name is going to be global and it is going to be MGMT. So if you do not know about all these configuration, what is VPN 512, what is VPN 0, just see my theory classes on that, right? I do not want to specify any default route here also. That's fine because I do not want to configure the management network, but I do want to make sure that we have VPN 512. So let me save this. It is saved. And now the last configuration, we need to define a VPN for our service side. Okay. It's too many edges, but guys, believe me, this is the beauty of this solution. You can have many templates which can be reusable, right? So VPN template this time, and this time it is going to be for my service side VPN, and I have chosen name for my service side VPN as VPN number 10, right? In description, you can have anything which we have right here. VPN basically is VPN number 10, okay? And the name of the VPN is it is going to be the global name it is going to be service side VPN. And let's put the VPN also. That's fine. And now in the service side VPN here, basically I do not need any default route, but what I want is I want my connected route to be advertised in OMP. And okay, so I am just making sure that I enable this so that my connected route in the VPN side, the service VPN side, are going to be advertised into OMP, right? I do not want to define the default route here. Okay, so this is perfect. Let's save the configuration. Okay, this is good. Now let's build a device template. So we have already configured a dummy template here, right? In the beginning of the last video. So let's go here. Let's do a edit here. And what we are going to do is instead of system here, I will be selecting the information which I provided there, right? This is the system info. Okay. Now, if we talk about logging, let's see, it's a default thing. And now I'm going to add the NTP configuration, right? I have defined one NTP template, so it is there, right there. I'm selecting that. Now, AAA wise, we are good. We are good. Now, if you consider transport and management VPN 0, I have defined the VPN 0 template here, right? And I need to add the VPN 0 interface, which I have already defined. And where exactly this? In VPN 0, we are going to have internet interface, right? Very simple. In VPN 512, I am going to define VPN 512, and then interface is going to be the VPN 512 interface. So let's select this VPN. Okay. Okay. So the problem is I am getting these here. Let's delete them, and now I need to select it from here. This is good. And this is my management interface. Now the question is the service side VPN, and I am doing is add VPN here, right? So this is my service side VPN. I am selecting this, doing the next, and now it is asking that what interfaces you want to add. So it has slightly different structure like VPN interface. I am just adding VPN interface here, and in VPN 10 I am going to add this interface, right, which I have created. So I am doing this add. So guys, most of the guys, they define, so we have this one. This is perfect. Everything is fine. Let's do, let's do an update. Okay. So we are good. So now, as you can see, we have a device template for BR2 Edge ready. And now you can see that we have 13. Previously there were 8. Now we have 7 more templates attached to it. Okay. Now what we want to do is we want to attach this template to BR2 Edge device, right? And to do that, we are just clicking on these 3 links. We are doing attach devices, and we want to select our edge devices. And where are which edge device I want to select? This one, right? And here you go. You are saying attach, right? So let's see what's going to happen next. So it is saying that you have attached this template here. Now I'm doing next. So it is saying the required fields are missing, and now I need to fill all this information, guys. Okay. So what exactly this information is? First thing first, IPv4 address of VPN 10 interface. And the IPv4 address of VPN 10 interface is, if I see this one, it is going to be here 10.2.1.0/24 is the subnet. So 10.2.1.1. Okay. 10.2.1.1 is the IP address which I'm going to configure at VPN 10 site. It is going to be /24, right? And then IPv4 address of 512 interface, maybe let's say it is going to be your the same address which we have decided for this. And say let's configure an address 192.168, maybe say 10.1, right? Or 10.10. Then here at address VPN 0 next hop IP address, right? And this is going to be the IP address of my internet site service provider, which is 8.0.2.1 in this case. So I am going to write here 8.0.2.1. I do not need to write /24 here because this is the IP address of the next hop, right? But this is the IP address of the interface, so I need to define here the mask. You can understand, you can figure it out pretty easily. Now it is asking IPv4 address of my VPN 0 interface, which is the second IP address from this subnet. So I'm going to write 8.0.2.2, and then I need to write /24 here. Host name. The host name is going to be the same host name which I have given, and the host name was BR2-VH1, right? Let's write it down. BR2-VH1 -1 maybe. The system IP is going to be your 192.168. Let me check the system IP. So here it is 192.168 for the edges, right? It is going to be 200.1. Sorry, it is going to be 200.2 because I am in BR2, right? Any other parameters it is asking for, and it is asking for the site ID. I am in the second site, second branch, so I'm writing 2 here. It is good. Okay, so nothing else is required. By the way, guys, there is a better option to fill all these things. You can download this as an Excel file and you can then just upload it. Okay, very simple process. If you want to do that, and maybe I will be showing you when configuring other devices. Okay, let's do the next and let's see what's going on. So it is saying I'm selecting this guy here. It is saying this server, vManage server experience an unexpected error. If the problem persists, contact your administrator. So I'm just going back to see that if there is a problem, and there is a problem, right? If you are defining IPv4 address, you need to define uh, /24, right? Let me check once again. This is good. This is good. All good. System IP, I do not need to define the, okay. Now do a next. Let's see what happens now. This time it is looking good. Let's see. Okay. So this is going to be my configuration preview, right? Here is the vBond, and here is the config difference, right? So the problem is I do not have the vBond here, right? I'm not sure why I haven't given this. Let me check. Let me check. I think it is perfect. So no problem. So basically here you can match the config preview, which we are going to push there, right? And this is good. VPN 512 configuration we have VPN 10, and then VPN 0, where we have 0/0 interface. This is good. And what is the configuration difference? You can see here, chassis number, that's fine. This is okay. User group, that is perfect, no problem. NTP, basically there is a difference in the NTP configuration, right? But all is good. If I compare, this is good. And I think I have attached NTP. So if I see here, and the problem is in the system configuration, I do not see NTP configuration, right? So let's go back and check whether we have push the NTP part or not. Okay. So here we are. Here we are doing edit, and then yeah, NTP configuration is there. So that is perfect. Okay, we are doing attach devices. We are attaching it to BR2VH1. This is good. Attach. Oops, and the problem. So I will fill these variables once again and come back. Okay. So I have filled that information once again. Let's do what's going on. So I was just got confused that from where exactly it is taking the vBond IP address. And in the beginning we have defined the IP address of the vBond right exactly here, right? So here you go. We are attaching this to BR2-Edge. Config preview is this one. This is good. All is good, right? Now let's do configure devices. So it is going to take some time to push that configuration, and I'll be back once it is done. So guys, I got an error while attaching this template to the device. And the reason which I could figure out is that I haven't chosen the interface name correctly. So if you go again to the templates here and the feature and open the internet interface and do the edit here, you will be seeing here this one, right? And this is the incorrect one. So basically you need to write GE 0/0 here. Okay. So just do an update here. And similarly, we are going to check for say VPN number 10 also. Let's see what we have there. Here, okay. Here it seems that it is okay. This is the VPN configuration. So let's open the feature template and this VPN 10 interface. Here you go. Edit, and what exactly it is showing? It is correct. This is Gigabit Ethernet 0/2. And let's check once again so that we do not have any problem. Okay. So feature, let's check for the management part also. We are having this management interface, edit, and here you go. This is also correct. So no issues now. Let's again try to attach this template, this device template to our device, right? Uh, we are doing attach devices. We are again going to DCVH2, not DCVH2, BR2VH1. Okay, this is wrong. Attach, and now I need to again fill this. Okay, so bear with me, guys. Let me fill this. So I have done all the configuration. Now I am doing configure device, and again it is going to take some time. Let's see. So right now it is saying the validation success, and it is in the progress. So if you can see here, we can see that the configuration has been pushed successfully here to the device, and now we can just see what's going on at my BR2 edge, right? This is the edge. So if I do a show run, if I do a show run on this, let's see what are the changes. If I see here, we have VPN 10, which we configured. Correct, guys? And here is the IP address for the same, right? And in the OMP, we are advertising connected routes. This is good. This is good. So again, if I go to the vmanage console here, I should not see any change in the tunnel count or something. Everything should be up and running, right? So this is the way how you can attach template, right? If you but the problem which I see here that we need to do, and it is not a problem, we need to do the same thing for our branch 1 VH and then the DCH2 also. And what is the process going to be? I'll let you know. But till now, what we have done, I'll let you know. So we have just created a template, guys, right? And the template was system template. Correct? In that system template, we have multiple feature template, like we have configured NTP there, we have configured interface for the VPN, we have configured VPN themselves, right? VPN 0, VPN 512, and VPN 10, which is the service side VPN, right? Along with that, we have configured the system information template. And what we are doing is we are just combining all these things under one system template, and then we pushed that system template to here. Okay, getting my point? It is as simple as that. Okay. So what we are going to do next, we are going to create the same templates here for this BR1 VH1, right? The system template. And then inside the system template, what we are going to do, we are going to configure the VPN 0 part, VPN 512 part, and VPN 10 part, right? And then the different interfaces, and then the system configuration, and we can reuse them, right? Because anyhow we have defined the internet interface, anyhow we have defined all those, and we have made sure that we have proper variables in that, right? And then we have system configuration already, we have NTP configuration already. What we need to make sure is we just call all these templates with some some variable settings into the system template, and then we are going to push this system template from vmanager to br1, and similarly to this guy. Okay, having said that, I'm clearing the board now, and we are going to start configuring our br1 vh device. One thing again which I forgot to tell you, that here, exactly here, we are running OSPF. So when we are defining our VPN 10, which is the service side VPN, right? We will define the interface here as a template, and we are also going to define OSPF in a template, right? So that when this device comes up, it will start making neighborship with this device, right? And OSPF neighborship is going to be up from this device, right? So this guy in the service side is going to be learn all the OSPF routes. Very simple, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm cleaning the board and we are going to configure this device. Okay, let's do this. So having said that, let's create the device template for our BR1 edge, right? Now let's do this and create template from feature templates. We are going to define the model, which is VH Cloud. This is good. Template name. We are going to have BR-1 edge. Okay, and then the description is going to be same. As you know, we haven't defined any the OSPF feature template first. So let's create the OSPF feature template, okay, which we are going to call here. So if you go here and do add template, again VH Cloud, which is here, you go here, select OSPF, and we are writing this as OSPF config. Description OSPF config. Once again, here you go. And then we are going to say router ID is going to be the device specific parameter. That's perfect. And then we are going to define here area. If you know OSPF well, this is just a piece of cake for you. So area number, I am defining a global and the area is 0, right? Area type I do not want, and now I want to add the interfaces. Which interfaces are going to run OSPF? So if I go here and choose the interface name, what I'm going to do is I'm going to define a specific. It's a what we can say, it's a device specific parameter, right? It is interface name you need to provide, or you need to exactly provide on which interface at the service side you are going to run OSPF. Okay, very simple. Just do a add here. Okay, so here is the thing. I do not need anything else. Everything should be default. So let's save this configuration. Now let's go again to device configuration, and we are going towards BR1 edge. Let's edit this configuration or configuration template. System configuration, we already have system info. Logging, we do not want. And here I want to give the Ntp information. Let's choose the Ntp, which is Ntp template. Here you go, we have VPN 0. We are having VPN 0 here. And now let's introduce our secure VPN interface. And the VPN interface, again, we are choosing just the internet interface. Here you go. VPN 512, let's choose VPN 512. We are adding VPN interface, and here you go. The VPN interface is 512 interface is this one, management interface. And now what we are going to do is we are going to add VPN 10, the same thing there also. Next, and here we need to exactly define the VPN interface. And here the my VPN interface is going to be this one. And I want to add one more thing, guys, right? I want to add OSPF here. So if you add OSPF, it is going to let you select your OSPF configuration. And what we are going to do, we are going to do add and then update this configuration. Okay. We are good here. We are having BR1 edge, and of course it is having 14 feature templates, one more than this one, because we are running OSPF extra, right? And here you go, we are here, attach devices. Very simple, right? Which device you want to attach? I want to attach it to BR1 VH1. Okay, here you go, attach. And now once again, I need to fill all these parameters. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I fill this without wasting your time. I will fill this parameter and come back. So I have filled all the variables. Let's do the next here. Here you go. I'm selecting the device and it is going to generate the configuration preview. Okay. So we have this VPN 0 here. This is perfect. IP address, I have default route. No problems. 80.1.1. This is perfect. Our ID, timers for the OSPF, everything is just perfect. Okay. Let's see here. What is the configuration difference? Nothing which is alarming. So all good. We are good. And let's configure this device. Okay, it is going to take some time again. So as you can see that the template push configuration is done. Template is successfully pushed here and we can see the signal. Okay, so now we are going to configure our data center edge device and let's go ahead with that. So guys, we are good with respect to the configuration of BR1 and branch 1 and branch 2. But let's check before configuring the data center VH, let's check some of the configuration first, that whether everything is working fine or not. So we are going, so what we are going to do now for the check, we are going into this router to check whether any OSPF neighborship is up or running, right? And similarly, we are going to check this. So, so having said that, let's open the PuTTY session, and we are in the BR1 router. Here you go. Let's zoom in and let's do show IP interface brief. First, we want to ping to this interface, the VH router interface, which is going to be 10.1.2.1. Sorry, 10.1.1.1. So, so this is good that we are able to ping this. But now let's check the neighborship. Show IP OSPF neighborship. This is okay. We do not have any OSPF neighborship. Let's see whether OSPF is working fine here. Show IP OSPF interface brief, and here you go. Yeah, so things are working pretty fine here with respect to OSPF, right? So it means that we have some issue at the edge router. Okay, so let's see here what's going on. Show running configuration, whether our configuration is there for the OSPF or not. So if you can see here, we have VPN 0. Inside VPN 10, we have this OSPF configuration. But here is the problem. We don't have any interface specified here. So it means that we have some configuration mistake at our templates. So let's go back. So this is good that we are getting some exposure into troubleshooting also, right? So let's go back to our templates, right? Let's go back to feature templates. Then here you go. We are in. Let's check the OSPF configuration here, edit, and this is good, this is good. So OSPF config, and here you go, that we do not have any area, although we have defined there, right? But I think we forgot to save it. So let's define once again. This area number is going to be the global 10. I do not want to configure interface, area type. Let's add the interface, add interface. It is going to be the, we can create a device specific also here, right? So OSPF name or OSPF interface name, I would say. Let's say OSPF hyphen or underscore interface name, right? This is good. And we are good. Okay, we have added add here. We have done add here, but we didn't click this, I believe, right? So that was the problem. So no issues. Let's update this. And when we update this, it is going to ask that, okay, and now you need to define exactly which is your OSPF interface name, right? It means that you need to specify here. And where I'm running this OSPF exactly, I'm running this OSPF at gigabit Ethernet 0/2 exactly here, right? So I need to provide this number GE 0/2. Let's go once again. Let's go here and let's go into our remote desktop connection. Let's clean the board and we are specifying here GE 0/2. This is good. All the parameters are there already. Let's do the next. It is again say that what is the configuration change, right? And we will see the difference. So nothing till now, but yes, you can see now there is an interface gigabit Ethernet 02, right? So guys, I'm just explaining once more. This is the configuration which you are going to push, right? Right? And if you want to see what is the configuration difference, right? Then basically you can see here. Everything is here, right? This is going to be the configuration difference that we are going to push this interface gigabit Ethernet 0/2 as a part of router configuration. One more thing, if you want to have a side-by-side difference, right? Everything is same, right? This is the old configuration which is already there at device, and this is going to be the new configuration which you are going to push as a part of this template. And this is the reason why my OSPF neighborship was not up, right? So this is good that we are learning some troubleshooting also. So having said that, let's configure this device. This is good. And again, it is going to take some time, maybe 1 minute. It is in progress. I will be right back. It's still in the progress. So this is great. I can see the success now. Let's see what's going on with respect to OSPF neighborship on our branch 1 router. Okay. So open secure CRE. Here you go. And let's do the same command again. Show IP OSPF neighbor. And sure enough, we can see the neighborship up and running. This is just great, right? So our template is working fine, no issues. And let's now move towards checking some of the things here at the BR2 or the BR2 Edge 1, or basically if I am able to ping from this PC to my BR2 VH1 here, right? Let's do that. So right now I'm in BR2 user 1, branch 2 user 1, and I'm trying to ping my BR2 VH, right? So the IP address configured here is, let's do a show IP interface brief. .50 is the IP address of this, what we can say, this user, right? So let's ping 10.2.1.1, which is the gateway IP address I have configured on the edge router, right? I'm talking about LAN side now. Let's do slightly bigger this, and sure enough, we are able to ping. So with respect to check, everything is working fine. But by this time, if I talk about the concepts, right? If I talk about the concepts, by this time, what we have done, right? This is up and running. This is up and running in terms of LAN side also, right? They are also making tunnels with vSmart, right? They are also running OMP without any problem. It means that when OMP is up and running, and I have mentioned in the previous videos that they have also shared TLOC information, right? And if the TLOC information is there, right, it means that we have data tunnels already configured. But now the question is, are we learning routes, right? Are we learning routes? And I'm talking about which routes, right? The immediate question. See, this guy here is having 10.2.1.0, which is a connected route, right? And while I was specifying the template, I told that you need to advertise the connected routes into the OMP. It means that this connected route, which is 10.2.1.0, will be here in the vSmart 10.2.1.0, right? /24 is here in the vSmart, and vSmart is again advertising it back to branch 1. So if I see if it should be there in the OMP routing table, right? Let's check that. Let's check what's going on, right? Whether this route is there or not. Okay, so I am in BR2 VH1 or say BR1 VH1, the branch one. So here I should see this route 10.2.1.0. So if I do show IP route here, right? And this is interesting that if I show you that we have one OMP route in this router here, right? This router we have one OMP route, and which OMP route is this? This is 10.1.10.2.1.0, which is this subnet, which is this connected subnet. This is really fantastic, right? So we are getting the routes. Now, if I talk about what is going on in the branch 2, let me clean the board. Let me clean the board, and we should see because by default, if I tell you the default behavior, by default OMP advertise the OSPF intra-area routes, right? So of course we are running OSPF here. It means that this guy should be learning two routes. This one is connected route, which is 10.1.1.0/24, and this one is the route which is it is getting from the OSPF, right? So it is also going to get 10.1.2.0/24. Very simple, very easy, right? And here you should be seeing that. So having said that, let's see the table here. Show IP routes. Here you go. So if you can see, this is a neat output, right? We have whatever we have in VPN 0, whatever we have in VPN 10 and 512, every route is here, right? So this guy is learning two OMP routes. Here you go, right? And this guy is learning these two OMP routes from uh, this guy, which is the TLOC IP address 192.168.200.1, which is the IP address of this guy. Not IP address, this is the system IP of this guy, right? And then obviously this is over this color, and encapsulation is this, and these three things are nothing but your TLOC. Very simple. The route is in the forwarding table, and then basically we are having these two routes from branch 1 into branch 2. This is fantastic, right? So if I initiate a ping from here to here, it should work. But before doing all the ping and everything, right? Before doing all the connectivity, I would love to configure first this DCH2, right? Bring this interface of the DC H2, and then we are going to bring this interface up and running, and we are running OSPF here also, guys, right? So we need to make sure that gigabit 0/2 interface is a part of OSPF, right? And once it is up and running, the neighborship is going to be there, and we will be advertising these two subnets now, right, into the OMP. So we are going to see two new subnets in BR VH1 and the branch 1 and the branch 2, right? This is simple. So having said that, let's configure the data center H2 and its respected transport. Okay. So now let's configure our data center edge. So for that, let's go to templates. Let's define a device template from feature template. And what we are going to do here, we are going to select the model, the same process we have been doing, right? And it is going to be VH Cloud. Template name is going to be, it is your data center edge router number 2, right? Not the number 1, it is the number 2. So we are going to have this one, right? And then with respect to system, we are going to specify the system information. Perfect. And let's introduce NTP, right? We are selecting NTP here. Very simple. In terms of transport side, we are going to say that we are having VPN 0 here. Perfect, right? And then inside that VPN 0, we are going to say that we have one interface, and the interface is internet interface. Perfect. And then with respect to VPN 512, we are having this VPN, and let's add one interface here, which is your management interface. Perfect. Now add the VPN, and we have already the VPN definition defined here. Let's go to the next step here, and okay, this is interesting. I think, okay, let's define add VPN. We are going to add this, and next. And here we need to specify the interface, right, in this VPN. So VPN interface, choose VPN interface. And here it is going to be VPN 10 interface. And of course, I need to define OSPF also, right? So choose OSPF, OSPF config. And this is the beauty of this template, that we can reuse them as many times as we want, right? And at the end of whenever we are trying to, what we can say, whenever we try to attach these things, we just need to add those values. And there are multiple methods to add those values. Basically, you can download that Excel file, put all the configuration, and then just upload that Excel file back. Okay. So having said that, let's do the add here. This is good. So we have VPN 10 configuration also, right? Let me check once again, because most of the times I don't see that. So yes, we have VPN interfaces. That is perfect, right? This is perfect. Save. And now let's do a create for the device template, and we are having the DCH2 device template up and running. Let's attach this device template to DCVH2. Perfect. And then attach. Nice. And now we need to define all these variables here. Again, it is going to take some time, maybe 1 minute, and I'll be back after filling these variables. Okay, guys, so I have filled all the necessary information, and let's go. What's going to happen now, right? We're selecting the device, and it is going to generate the configuration preview as well as the configuration difference, right? Let's see side by side what is the difference. We are having it here. Okay, this is perfect. This is fine. Then this is okay. We are going to have this VPN 10 configuration, and this time we made sure that gigabit 0/2 is there in the OSPF configuration. We have configured the IP address also. This is perfect. Management interface, everything is perfect. Let's configure this device. Okay, again, it is going to take some time. Let's wait. So you can see it is in progress still. Okay, it is in progress, but the validation is successful here. This is good. Let's see what's going on. So here you can see the success now, right? Although I did some mistake while configuring the next hop, the internet next hop, and I need to do a lot of things again. But yes, at the end of the day, I am getting the success. So everything is configured now. My branch 1 router, my branch 2 router, and also the data center router, right? So now it is time to check what routes I am learning, what TLOCs I am learning. So we are going to have very exciting hands-on session now, okay? So if I tell you what we have done till now on this topology diagram, let me make it slightly bigger. Okay, so here you go. If I explain you what exactly I have done here, right? So this is up and running. This is up and running. And this is also up and running. So we have only one transport, which is internet, right? Our data tunnels between these edges is up and running, as we have mentioned, right? I have shown you that in case of this BR1 VH1 and BR2 VH2, we were successfully able to learn the VH routes. Now we need to check on the DCH router whether we are receiving all the routes, and then we are going to do some connectivity check, right? Whether we are meeting, we are successfully able to communicate from this data center server to this branch user, and as well as this branch user to the data center server, as well as the other branch user, right? So with that, we have a pretty basic topology configured without two transport, only one transport. For now, we have internet. Okay, so there are two ways to check this. We can check on the CLI, and we can also check on the UI, right? So CLI portion we have done. In the means, if you just go couple of minutes back in this video, then I have shown you how to check all the V routes, OMP routes in the CLI. But now I would like to showcase you how you are going to see all these routes in the vManage UI. Okay, so having said that, let's see what routes this DCH2 is learning, and as well as these branch routers, and basically we are also see what exactly the routes in the vSmart. Okay, this is going to be pretty exciting. So let's go. So I am clearing this board first. Okay, let's clear this. Okay, so let's open the vManage in a remote desktop connection. And so I want to make sure that you are familiarized with it, with this GUI, okay? So that if you want to do some troubleshooting, if you want to see some things here, everything is present in the GUI, okay? But of course, you can go to the CLI also to check few of the things, okay? So let's go and see what we have in this monitor section. Let's go in the network. Okay, so you can see that we have all these devices present here, WAN edge device, right? And here, if you can see, we have necessary information present here. For example, what is the site ID, and then what are the number of control connections, version, everything is there, right? So this is important to know, right? And now if you can see, if I click on any of the thing here, now let me clean the board, and if I click on, say, branch 1 VH1, right? It will open this thing. And this is very important to know that what are the different things we can do from here. Okay, so if I go to, I have shown you this control connection part previously also, that how many control connections we have from the VH1, right? And here, if you can go, by the way, guys, one thing, if you want to understand each and everything, then just have the picture of this topology, right? And the things are going to be things are going to be making more sense to you when you have this picture in maybe on your mobile or some different screen, and then we are understanding this in vmanage. It is going to be very useful. For example, we can see in the VH1, the branch 1 VH1, we can see there are 2 tunnels. If you go to the troubleshooting section here, this is what I was talking about, that yes, if you can see the device bring up process, we have everything in the UI format here, that it is showing the data plane connectivity established, right? Right here. So if you can see here, the data plane connectivity established, control plane connectivity established, router configuration is null, that's fine. And it is also authorized by vBond. So you can check all this information, and if there is something wrong, you can just come here to see that, okay? So having said that, again, let's go to troubleshooting section of this one, and we can do some, there is a control connections live view also, if you can see, okay? This is pretty interesting. And then again, if you go to the troubleshooting section, we can ping and trace route from here, right? You can define which VPN you want to ping. So this is pretty neat UI to troubleshoot a few of the things. Okay, now if I go to the real time, what is the meaning of real time? We can see a lot of things, like what are the routes we are receiving here from the different VHs. So if you see that I am in branch 1 VH1, and if I want to see what are the different routes I am receiving here, right? So okay, search options. So I'm not interested in system information though. So if I see here the information with respect to OMP, right? So what are the routes I am receiving in OMP? I do not want to filter. I want to see everything, right? So here you go. This is just important, guys, to understand the output, right? So I am in branch 1 VH1. Just consider the diagram, and in that I am having these two prefixes, 10.1.1.0/24 and 10.1.2.0, and these are OMP received prefix. It means that I am receiving this prefix, but wait a minute, these prefixes are on my side, right? And that is why I'm saying that I am receiving from 0.0.0.0, which means it is received from me, right? And now in the branch 1 VH1, I am receiving 10.2.1.0. So this prefix basically I am receiving from my branch 2. Pretty interesting, right? Then 10.100.1, 2, and 3. These prefixes I am receiving from data center. Okay, and how I'm pretty sure about it, because this TLOC IP address, or this system IP address, is the IP address of my data center VH2, right? Very simple. Similarly, we have here TLOC IP of my branch 2 and my branch 1. Okay, so similarly you can see other things also. For example, I just show OMP received routes, but you can see the OMP received TLOCs also, transport location. So if you see here, what transport location is advertised by vSmart to me, right? And you can see here, these are the IP color and, okay, let me write IP color and encapsulation, right? I am receiving 192.168.200.1 biz internet IPsec, and from where this is my own TLOC, right? So there are three more TLOCs. There are three more TLOCs present. One is, sorry, two more. One is from 200.2. This is basically my branch 2 business internet IPsec, and this is my branch 2. And from where I am receiving, what is this IP address? This is interesting thing, right? I am receiving everything from vSmart, right? Because from vEdge, there is peering towards vSmart. The OMP peering is only towards vSmart, whatever the route I am advertising or receiving, I am receiving from the vSmart, right? I'm advertising it to vSmart, right? Similarly, so by the way, guys, previously I had one more node here, which is 200.101, which is not right now not there. So just leave this for now. We are talking about this one. This is our data center edge, right? VH2. So 3 TLOCs we are receiving. One is from us only, and two from the vSmart. This is good. Okay. And similarly, you can go ahead and check. You can yeah, what I can say. You can explore it more, right? Everything is going to be here. Now I want to show you one more interesting thing that of course you can check the system status from here, and if you're interested in the security monitoring, then we have firewall intrusion prevention, as I mentioned in the theory videos, right? This SD-WAN device is just like a stateful firewall also, which does a lot of things like intrusion prevention, URL filtering, advanced malware protection, everything, right? So if you want to use direct internet access at some of your branches, rest assured that this device has the capability of providing a full-fledged firewall features, okay? You know about this TLOC internal, which I have already shown you. Now, and now what I wanted to show you more, just go into the wrench, this one, and then open this SSH terminal. This is again because you do not need to go to a particular device to SSH it, right? You can exactly see all the things from here. So if I open this VR1 VH from here, although the font, if you can see it's not that clear, but if I let me write admin and password. So here you go. If I do show OMP routes here, it will going to showcase you all these routes which I was seeing from in the UI also, right? So you can, what you can do, you can write here. You can see that these are the routes which I am receiving in the OMP. Pretty easy, pretty neat, right? Now let's check whether we are able to reach to different devices or not, right? Okay. So this was kind of introduction I wanted to give you with respect to these tools which we have, right? And pretty powerful UI we have in vManage, and you can definitely check many things are here. And when we are going to configure the policies, we will be checking most of the things in the UI also, right? But now let's check once again from the command line that are we able to reach these devices, right? So I have configured the IP address on this PC here, and the IP address is 10.1.2.50. Here the IP address is 10.2.1.50, right? And here the IP address is 10.100.3.50. So what we are going to do is we will open this branch to VH1, this guy, and we will try to ping and trace route. Sorry, we will open these two guys, this one, branch to user one, and this one, and then we'll try to ping from here to this guy, and we'll try to ping from here to this guy, right? And we can be rest assured that the routes we are learning, right? So so let me open first this branch to VH1, right? Let me show you that we are learning the routes. Okay. 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 So let me make it slightly bigger. And to you. Okay. Control ++. And if you can see here, I'm logging into my branch to router and then password. First, let's check that whether we have the route or not. Show OMP routes. Okay, this is not the good form. Let's see show IP routes. That's fine. Okay, so if you can see right here that we are having route from branch 1 as well as from the data center. So what are the data center routes? We have these 3 routes from the data center, right? In VPN 10. This is good. And we are having this route 10.1.1.0 and 10.1.2.0 is in from the VPN in the VPN 10, and we are learning this from the branch 1. Okay, very simple. So now let's open BR to user 1, this one, and let's try to ping first. Okay, so first of all we are going to ping the branch 1 from branch 2, and the IP address of the branch 1 is 10.branch1 PC, which is branch 1 user 1 is ping 10.1.2.50, right? And sure enough, we can ping it. But let's see what is the trace route, right? How it is going to be. So as you know that we have a direct tunnel between BR1 and, okay, sorry for this. We are having a direct tunnel. Okay, let me just we are having a direct tunnel between this branch 1 VH1 to branch 2 VH2. This is my IPsec tunnel, right, in yellow. So what exactly is going to happen? This underlay things are not going to come into picture, right? For us, this is going to be a single link, which is from here, from this router to this router, right? This is my overlay, right, which we have created. So if I do a ping from here, the first hop is going to be this interface, right, which is my 10.2.1.1, right? This is simple, and we will be verifying it. The first hop is going to be 10.2.1.1, which is this interface right here. The second hop, because this is a one link for me, this is not anywhere, right? So the second hop is going to be this interface, which is 10.1.1.1, this interface, right? And the third hop which I will be receiving is going to be this router itself, right? So let's see what happens if I do a trace route. Okay, this is going to be interesting. So trace route 10.1.2.50. And sure enough, the 10.2.1.1 is this interface, right? 10.1.1.1 is this one, and then 10.1.1.2, which is my this interface, right? This one. This is absolutely fantastic, right? Whatever we have learned in the theory section, everything is working as we learned. This is good, right? So now the question is, can we ping from branch to user 1 or from the DC server to this branch to user 1, right? Let's see. So I'm opening this DC server. Okay. So let enable. What is the IP address I have configured here is on this device. This is 10.100.3.50, right? Let's ping from here to branch to user 1, and the IP address I have configured there is 10.2.1.50. Okay, so now let me show you what exactly I am doing here. I am doing here is I am right now I am here, okay, and I am trying to ping here, which is 10.2.1.50, right? So we all know that there is a tunnel between this DC edge to branch to edge. This is the IPsec tunnel, right? The first hop is going to be this guy. Okay, let me change the pen. The first hop is going to be this guy. Second hop is going to be this high and this guy because we have router here. And then we will be leaving this. The third hop is going to be this guy. The fourth hop is going to be because it is connected on the direct layer 2 network. Very simple, right? Let's see when we do a ping, what happens. Okay. So here you go. If you do a ping, okay, this is interesting that I am not able to reach. So let's do a trace route let's debug this. What is the problem? Okay, trace route 10.2.1.50. And yes, so basically my first hop, which is 3.1, is exactly saying host unreachable. So what is the meaning of this? Let's try to debug this. Okay, let me clean the board. What's going on, guys? This is the default gateway, which is 10.100.3.1, and here I could see the packet drops. So let me open this and let me find that do we have the route here? Okay. So if I open this, enable, let me increase the size of this one. Okay. Sorry for this, guys. Show IP route. And yes, I do not have any route with respect to 10.2. And because I'm not advertising my OMP routes into the OSPF, and this is the problem, right? So for now, I am solving this problem by configuring a default route, right? So I'm going to config IP route 0.0.0.0, 0.0.0.0.0, and we need to specify the next hop, and the next hop is going to be 10.100.2.1, which is my vEdge service side interface gigabit 0/2, right? So for DC server, the next hop is going to be the DC router, and for DC router, the next hop is going to be DC-H2. Very simple. It's just a plain routing. I'm not doing anything because we do not have any route which is matching in DC router. That is why I am just creating a static route here. Very simple. So let's create this static route, and now I think we are good to go. So guys, for my batch 2 students or batch 1 students, if they are listening, you need to put this route so that you have end-to-end connectivity. Okay, because I do not have this route configured in the configuration files which I have given to you. Okay, so but don't worry, if you see that you are not able to ping, this is the problem. Now I'm going to DC server. Let's see whether first thing first, am I able to ping or not? And yes, I am able to ping. And this is good. Now let's see what is my trace route path. And here you go. I have the trace route path also. Fantastic, right? And by the way, guys, means just an assignment for you if you are listening this, because now this video is length is approximately more than 1 hour, right? So can you figure out one thing, that when I do a trace route at the last hop, the final hop, I could see one packet drop here, right? So what is the reason for it? Although if you don't know it, it is always good to know how trace route work, because if you are troubleshooting most of the thing using trace route, right, you should understand that how trace route work. So for this, you need a little bit understanding of UDP, how exactly it works, and then ICMP also, right? Because different implementation of trace route has different methodology or the logic behind it. But I would say, guys, please try to understand how trace route work, because it is going to solve many problems for you. Okay, because in real life or in real projects also, when we do the troubleshooting, it is important, and it is really desirable to understand how to root work. So just an assignment for you. Just have a look at it. So for now, we are in pretty good shape, right? We understand, uh, we are able to make a topology where we have three data center. We have one data center here, right here, right? And we have two branches, right? But right now, basically branches can able to communicate directly with each other. So right now, if you can see, we have direct uh, OMP or DDLS tunnel on which OMP is running. We are exchanging routes, right? This is the DTLS tunnel, and over inside this DTLS tunnel, we are running OMP, and then we are exchanging our V routes or the service side routes, right? From here to here, and then basically this vSmart, if you are aware of the concept of route reflector in BGP, it is just reflecting those routes back to on other peers, right? So this is the DTLS tunnel. Once it is done, the vSmart advertise TLOC routes or TLOC simply, right? And guys, believe me, if you are straight away watching this hands-on series, it is not going to help you a lot, right? Just try to understand what I'm talking about, what exactly this TLOC and the routes are. Very simple concept, but you need to understand them. And one more thing, which I would like to mention, if you are seeking true knowledge, you need to spend time. And that is why many of my videos in which we discuss theory, right, are of length of maybe 1.5 hours to 2 hours, right? But believe me, when you start, just have a cup of coffee, just sit, relax, understand, and uh, and believe me, true knowledge required patience. Okay, because we most of the times in our theory section we discuss why behind things, and if you understand the why behind anything, any technology, you can understand it better, right? So I was just saying that if you do not know these terms, there is no point of watching this video, right? First watch the theoretical part, secondly you are good to go with the hands-on part. Okay, because I do not see any problem. I explain theory, I learn theory first, I do the practical part. I do not see any problem. But if it is other way around, it is going to be problem for you. So this vSmart is just like a reflector of routes, and that is why it is reflecting TLOC's route and your virtual routes back to these edges. And now these edges have TLOC information. It means that this guy knows the information about this IP address and this IP address. So they straight away go and create the data tunnels between them, right? Which is the IPsec tunnel. So right now, this is the behavior we have seen pretty easily. This guy is able to communicate to this guy, can be able to communicate to this one and also as well as this one without any problem. Okay. So having said that, what we are going to do next, what we are going to do in our next videos. So right now we have a topology, we have full mesh topology, right? What we are going to do, let's try to convert this full mesh topology, okay, from full mesh to hub and spoke, right? So exactly what do we need to create this as a hub and spoke topology? First thing first, we need to identify which is going to be my hub side. And mostly, in most of the cases, this data center side is always be your hub, right? We are going to have this branch one as a spoke or spoke one, you can say, and we are going to have this as a spoke two. So generally, how your hub and spoke topology look, we have a hub here, and we have several spokes, right? Spoke 1, spoke 2, or branch 1 or branch 2, right? So If you want, and guys, believe me, leave about the underlay portion because this is providing you just the connectivity. Now we are talking about the underlay. Now we are talking about the overlay. This is your overlay, right? These are the virtual links, virtual point-to-point links. So if I drew this, it means that this black line represents your IPsec tunnel, and it is point-to-point from here to here, right? Very simple. Now, if I want to create a hub and spoke topology, it means that I do not need this link, right? So I need to do something so that this branch VH1 should not learn the TLOC information of branch VH2, right? And if they do not understand the TLOC information, if they do not learn the TLOC information, this branch should not learn the TLOC information of branch 2, then they are not going to form this IPsec tunnel. And this is exactly what we want, right? So what we are going to do, as you all know now, vSmart is the brain. It has everything, right? And it advertises the TLOCs and it advertises the routes, virtual routes. So what we are going to do is on this branch 1, we are going to make sure that this branch only receives the TLOC information of data center. That is it. Here, this guy only receives the TLOC information of data center, means only this TLOC, right? No, this guy should not have this TLOC, this guy should not have this TLOC. And that is what we need to do. If this tunnel is not there, it means that we are having the hub and spoke topology. The second thing is TLOC route is different than the virtual routes. Virtual routes or service routes are these routes, right? So if I just remove this link, it doesn't mean that we are not going to receive the routes. Although routes are there, but the connectivity is not going to be there. If there is no connectivity, that there is no point of having these routes, right? If this VH, if I create the route and if I create this topology and this VH say that I have the route towards 10.2.1.0, it doesn't have meaning. It doesn't have any meaning, and the reason is that if I cannot go and connect it directly, then of course what I can do is I can advertise a default route from the data center 0.0.0, and then basically my traffic from branch 1 to branch 2, first of all it will be going to the data center and then it is coming back from the data center to here, right? So there are multiple things, multiple approaches you can choose. One approach is you can advertise the default route from the hub, or you can advertise all the routes from the hub, but the next hop you can change. The next hop to reach S2 is always going to be your hub, right? We are going to see all these things in action in our next video when we are going to configure centralized policies, right? Very simple, very easy, right? But if you don't get it right, this is going to be the hardest concept in SD-WAN, right? So till then, take a break, take a pause. We are progressing pretty good. We have created a full mesh tunnel, and if we can create a full mesh tunnel, then we can create any topology out of it, right? And believe me, guys, if I am saying we can create any topology, it means that you can create any design, right? So if there is a requirement from a customer, right, then you need to think that how their WAN topology is going to look. And if you're talking about the topology, you are talking about the policies, right? And before going into the next video, make sure that you have gone through the theoretical session of centralized or the policies in SD-WAN. If you do not do that, it is going to be very tough for you guys to understand this. Okay, so make sure you gone through those 2 or 3 hours of theoretical portion first, and then come here to learn. Having said that, for now I am taking your leave, and in the next video we are going to discuss how we can convert this full mesh topology into hub and spoke one using SD-WAN policies. Bye for now.